Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and we haven't talked about the Legacy Collection in a while. I had promised a video a while back when I was traveling, and then I never made it, of course, because my brain is really bad. I can't remember things. But I did find a bunch of recent sales. All of these were recent sales. We got some of the Legacy Collection comic 2-packs. We've got some multi-packs and battle packs, some Target exclusives, and then some single carded figures, and then we'll finish things off with some other box sets and vehicles. So this is a line I don't collect, although every time I do one of these videos, there's so many that I want to buy that I just love the way they look. If you guys are into the Legacy Collection or really any other modern line like the Clone Wars and 30th Anniversary Collection, things like that, make sure to go check out Mando number 5, which is Keith Guppy. Keith Guppy is a friend of mine. He's a channel supporter, and he's got his own YouTube channel. If I remember, I will put a link to his YouTube channel in the video description. But I'm sure most of you are already subscribers to him. But you know, he's just got an incredible modern collection. So let's take a look at recent sales. All of these are pretty recent. We're going to start off with these comic 2-packs, which I always love. And some of the prices on these were all, again, recent sales, and the prices were really strong for 3 or 4 of these. So this one is Darth Crate along with Sigil Dari, I don't know how you pronounce her name. And it, you know, inside obviously included is a Dark Horse comic reprint from, you know, probably the mid 90s or late, you know, early 2000s, something like that. This one, again, Darth Crate is really the big draw here. He's a very expensive figure, even loose, complete. Really cool sculpt to him. And this one sold for $195. This is probably, at least in my opinion, one of the most famous ones. This one, I think, unfortunately, has been opened. I can't tell what's going on the right-hand side there. But, yeah, it looks like it's already been opened previously. But even still, it's still sold for $420, and this is the Open Seasons 2-pack Entertainment Earth exclusive that includes Montross and Jaster Muriel. There's 2 Mandalorians inside. I think I just had in a What to Buy video one of these that was CAS graded. That was at auction. So it's mainly because the figures are very desirable. I don't know why, but you know, a lot of these comic 2-pack figures, you know, this is the only time they made them. So completionists will really pay up for it. So this one was opened and it still sold for $420. Here is another one that's pretty famous and pretty expensive. This one includes a clone trooper in kind of the Kashyyyk camo outfit along with a clone commander. And it includes Star Wars Republic number 83, issue number 83 reprint. And this one sold for $725. That one's always, again, been really expensive, mainly because, again, of those 2 particular figures that are very desired among collectors. But $725 for that one. This one includes, I don't know how you pronounce that first name, Kel Drama, along with Exar Kun. And this is another comic pack where it's because the figures are very, very desirable. $650 on that one. $650. So big price on that one. That's comic pack number 11 that includes Tales of the Jedi number 6 inside. So just some comic 2-packs that sold recently that, you know, obviously are fetching big prices. Onto the single carded figures. I had to start with Wilro Hood. This is a pretty famous figure that people love. Obviously he had a brief appearance in the evacuation of Bespin, and he's, you know, for whatever reason, just considered a very desirable character with his little ice cream maker canister. $60.51. The packaging on this one was a little rough. And then this one was a little bit better condition. That one sold for $63. So if you're looking for Wilro Hood, he's tough to spot in the movie, but about $60, $65 is the going rate. Some other single carded figures. We had a Girin. This, again, had some rough edges to it, but a lot of people buy these and then fill out their Jabba the Hutt diorama or their Katana sail barge diorama. $75. Great face sculpt on that one. I always love that figure. And we had, obviously, the Princess Leia in her slave outfit. This is the more affordable version, other than, you know, the Power of the Force 2 version, which most people don't like because of the sculpt. The second best would be this one after VC64 from the Vintage Collection. But this one is still very desirable, very expensive. $129 for the Legacy Collection version of Princess Leia in her slave outfit. Next up, another expensive one, Kakuk. I don't know how you pronounce that name. Pretty cool face sculpt on him. $175. $150 to $175 is usually the going rate on him. Again, just another figure that that I think this is the only time it was ever made, to my knowledge. And pretty unique face sculpt for that Jedi. Next up, obviously, Jaina and Jacen Solo. We had another data point for the sale of those two figures, mint on card, including some star cases. $360 for the pair of them. Those are two of the more expensive figures from the Legacy Collection. And then a loose, complete Jacen Solo sold for $102.50. So again, that just shows you that even loose complete, that figure is very expensive. And I don't really know why. It's kind of a bizarre figure, especially with that weird thing around his neck. But people who are completionists, they like to get everything, and that one is a very expensive one. So Jacen and Jaina Solo $360, or loose complete probably about $100 each. Another weird one is Weosley. I don't know how you pronounce that name. I never understood this character. It's such a weird kind of prequel trilogy figure. And that one sold for $75. This is kind of the alternate packaging for the Legacy Collection. And then we had Trento Duaba and Dice Abigon. I think those are Cantina patrons, so people are probably buying those to fill out their HasLab Cantina. And that one sold for $90 for that 2-pack. And then we got a few other, these are interesting. So there's some Target Legacy Collection 2-packs. This one is obviously Count Dooku and what's his nuts. That was a 2-pack from Target. That one sold for $100, but this one is, this one says, if you look at the packaging, 5 of number 6 2010 edition. And so these are labeled 4 of 6, so 5 of 6. So this is a different 2-pack set, probably from a later year, is my guess. Or this one's probably the original year, because then it says here 5 of 6 2010 edition. So I'm guessing that these came out first, but this entire set of 6 2-packs that were Target exclusives, and you can see all the figures. These are all prequel trilogy figures, like Mace Windu, Battle Droid, Yoda, obviously Kit Fisto, things like that. So those 6 2-packs that were all Target exclusives, that lot sold for $102.50. So I just thought that was interesting that this one single one sold for $100, but all 6 of these sold for $102.50. Interesting. On to some other multi-packs. Scramble at Yavin's always one I've liked. I don't know why. I just thought it was kind of a cool little piece for dioramas with that little scooter thing where it's like, refilling ammo or Energon packs. I don't know, but it's just kind of a cool diorama piece, and it's always pretty expensive. So that Scramble at Yavin, on Yavin, $200 for that one. And then we had a number of, there's like a Legacy Collection Evolution sets. I just included a recent sale. This box is in rough shape, but this is the Sith Legacy Collection. And that includes Darth Nihilus, Darth Bane, which the Darth Bane book, if you haven't read that Darth Bane book, I would read it. It's, it's from some of the Expanded Universe 1990s novels, Old Republic, but that's a good book if you haven't read that one. And then Darth Maul, obviously, from The Phantom Menace. But those figures are very desirable as well. $84 on that set. Again, the box was in rough shape on that one. Another one I've always liked are the Star Wars Force Unleash multi-packs. So there's 2 different ones. This is 2 of 2 and my favorite of them. And obviously the Imperial Jump Trooper, Shadow Stormtrooper, which they obviously re-released as a gaming grade for the Vintage Collection. Galen Merrick, Proxy, and then Felucian Warrior, which is another very cool figure sculpt. And then there's another one that's also cool. The Imperial Jump Trooper is really cool. I always like that one. But you can see those figures there from the video game. And that one sold for $150. That's about what the other one goes for as well. So there's 2 different multi-packs from the Force Unleashed Legacy Collection. Some other battle packs, the Geonosis Assault. Geonosis, I can never pronounce that. 2 clone troopers along with one of those little pods that works with the Republic gunship. It's so weird to me that they would sell the pods separately from the gunship. But anyway, that one sold for $125. Another one I always point out is the Entertainment Earth exclusive Joker Squad. I just always loved this, mainly because of that Quarren Sith. How cool is the paint apps on that Quarren Sith? He's got that whip. I forgot his name. He's from a Dark Horse comic as well. 189 on that one. Although I did find some other data points as high as 250 for that Joker Squad Entertainment Earth multi-pack. And then we had this Battle Pack Battle of Zarlak. Obviously, that's a very desirable one to kind of pair with the Katana Sail Barge. This one had rough packaging, but whoever bought this just probably opened it and displayed it next to their sail barge. 140 on that Target exclusive. We had a Y-Wing bomber. I don't know why I included this. This is the Clone Wars. I always mix up Clone Wars and Legacy Collection. This is the Clone Wars, John. The Clone Wars. But that was sold for 170. It drives me nuts. And then this one is the AT-AT. I think this is Legacy Collection. Question mark. It says Legacy Collection, but the box looks different. To me, it looks Clone Wars-ish. 575 on that recent sale. That one's an opener, obviously, given the condition. But I always like that one because it includes that speeder bike. It's kind of like a Hoth version of the speeder bike. And, you know, it kind of sits in the back of the AT-AT. And then finally, this one is a Legacy Collection. This one has the Rancor along with Luke on the big bone that he sticks in his mouth. That's always another one that, after the failure of that HasLab Black Series version of the Rancor, 220 on this Target exclusive. I found a couple of data points that were in that price point for the Legacy Collection Jabba's Rancor with Luke Skywalker. Anyway, just some recent sales for the Legacy Collection. I had promised it a while ago. I didn't do the video. All of these sales just gives you a rough idea in case you do collect it. And make sure to go check out Mando number 5, which is Keith Guppy on YouTube. I'll put a link in the video description to the main channel page for his YouTube channel. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back soon.